live. So I'm just gonna make sure that you guys can see me. Hello everyone. So I'm gonna take a few minutes just to a little bit of housekeeping and you guys can see me and we are all connected before we go full into the project. But hello everyone. Welcome to today's Altenew live session. I'm Natalie D'Souza. I am part of the design team and I actually want to create some of the videos that you guys watch. And today we're going to create something fun. I have a lot of things prepped on the side here, but hello everyone. I am coming to you guys from snowy Toronto, Canada. It's actually snowing outside. We're expecting between 5 to 10 centimeters, which is around 3, 2 to 4, 3 inches, 3.5 inches of snow, supposedly. But we have had very little snow this year, so I am hoping that we do get a little bit. But it's not that cold, so that's a good thing. So, hello everyone. We're gonna wait until one of our new friends comes and helps us. So, because otherwise it's gonna be a little bit difficult for me to do the project and answer your questions. So we're gonna, wait for a little bit of help from all to you. But I hope you guys are doing great. Let me know if you guys are seeing properly. I am going to flip the camera in a little bit, and then you guys let me know if it's okay or if I need to make the mirror image of what is showing. Remember that when I'm recording, it's a bit different than when I'm watching. So, just keep that in mind. Um, yeah, we have very little snow this year here in Toronto. The weather has been beautiful. It does not feel like winter, but then again, we're also known for like having snow in April and so on. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get snow later into the season or if it gets colder. The weather's a little bit crazy, kind of match my personality a bit in a way. So hello, hi Sue, hi I said Alicia and John. Well, I'm sure it's Alicia. So, and I see a few friends. Some of you guys are watching on YouTube. Some of you guys are watching on Facebook. Remember when you share this at the end, there'll be your name gets into a draw for a gift certificate to the shop. So make sure you remember that. Like I said, we're gonna wait a little bit for a friend from Altenew. There you go. I hope it's Angel. I don't know who it is right now as Altenew. Hi. So I see a lot of you guys are finding us. So I'm going to give it like another minute or two until you guys find us. Oh, it's hi, Mitzi. So until you find us completely, and then I'll get started on the project. And today we're going to create something fun. I have quite a few things, but I want to create something all about celebration. I always go like a little bit out on celebrations and thinking of that. I just remember that I have something on the side here. While I talk to you guys, I'm going to keep working on that because I had an idea and so you're gonna hear me like moving stuff around. I'm just gonna cut out the tape until we give it like another minute before we flip the camera. I just wanna make sure that you guys all can find that before we go ahead. So going back to what I was saying, whenever there's a birthday and my family in general, usually we have like a family WhatsApp, you know, just for the family and we share pictures of what happened. So I usually keep them. My family is good at sharing stuff like that. So I usually keep them and you guys see my guillotine coming out. And I document it. I like documenting those changes in age, you can say it. So I have one of my goddaughter, and that's what the ones we're gonna use today. So I'm just cutting because we're gonna need acetate for today. So I'm just cutting that until we're gonna give it one more minute and then we're gonna be ready. You're gonna see me just move the acetate out of the way. I have pretty much everything else ready. So I just wanna make sure that, you know, we have it all ready. So there we go. Do we have to announce? I think Mitzi would like to know if you guys are sharing it because she doesn't, sorry guys, I don't think she can quantify that otherwise. So just help us with that, you know. And then I think we have enough people here. We have around 20 people watching us, I believe. I sometimes I can see those numbers, sometimes I don't. I have 24 people watching us. Between Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. Remember to give us a thumbs up, to share the feed. We love to have new friends and also the ones that I usually see quite a few guys coming back. Remember, I based a lot of I use a lot of Altenew products and car making products to create memory keeping layouts. That's what I love doing. Documenting, pictures and stories in a nice way. So all I'm doing right now is just punching holes on my acetate. So I'm gonna flip the camera And I'm going to show you what I have on my desk. And like I said, I put in the description, we're going to use the Sweet Jasmine set. I'm pretty much going to use most of it. I'm not going to use the embossing folder, but I'm using the press plate, the stamp, the stencil, and the die. So I'm going to flip the camera now. Take one button. And then you guys are going to let me know if you guys are seeing it properly or if I need to, switch to the other one. And you can see me standing up right now. Okay, so let me know if you guys are seeing it properly. If not, I have to flip it into the mirror. But I think it's okay. I can see it okay. But let me know. I'm going to wait 1 second before you guys, can see it properly. It's not like, you can read the titles properly. Okay, so we're fine. So I'm finishing punching the holes while you guys do that. And then I'm going to show you what I've created ahead of time. I just have the pieces together. So I have my acetate ready. And I'm going to show you the idea too. So hello, everyone. If you're just catching me right now, I'm Nathalie, and we're going to work on this right now. So like I said, today we're going to use the Sweet Jasmine set, and I'm using the press plate. I am going to use the stamp, the die, and the stencil. I am not using the embossing folder. So you're going to see I already have my the sticky mat. This is the ultra sticky matte grid. I have it here because I'm going to use it to actually add the color to my Sweet Jasmine. And I use my press plate for this. I have the stuff here ready. I use obsidian pigment ink for them. I did 3 of them. I think I might just use 1 or 2. I'm not so sure yet. I have the idea in my brain. So what I've done ahead of time is I actually added color. And the idea for today, so I'm going to move this a little bit to the side before we move ahead. I want to show you what we're going to create. So I have my album here, and you're going to see this is all my January kind of February, and it's getting, it's busy. I'm up to date, so don't look at that because that's coming up, new stuff. So you're going to see, I like to mix. I do a lot of pictures and documenting. So I have my photos ready. This just has to be filled. I have the cards ready. So this is what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to pull my paper here. I have my page protector and everything here ready. I'm going to show you what I've done. I even have my journaling ready. That's how prepared I am today. So pat on the back for me. So I have a few photos. I need a 4x6 for this pocket. I have a 3x4 for these pockets. I have this large picture here. I have this photo here. And then I have these 2 photos. I want one here and the other one here. So remember how you saw me cutting the acetate? I want to have this picture floating in the center. Okay? And then I am going to put this on the back over here. I am going to cover this at the front. And I'm going to frame everything nicely. I have more pieces on the side. But so you know more or less what my idea is. I want this here. This picture is going to be here. And we're going to use the Sweet Jasmine to decorate all of this and to accent, to make it very girly. Okay, so I'm picking up the colors based on it's one of my little cousins, also my goddaughter. So I picked up the colors. There's a lot of these kind of fuchsia pink. And she's wearing this kind of peachy tones. So I went and looking for inks for that. And I'm going to show you the colors that I'm using. Let me just move this to the side. And let's do the flowers. And then we're going to start building everything together. So let's go back into my little sections here. So I have my tones here. I have 2 already. I don't think I'm going to need more than 2 or maybe 3, but I'm going to show you how I create it. Like I said, I use the Sweet Jasmine press plate for this. I use black obsidian ink for my press plate, and then I use the die to cut it. And then right now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the stencil. This is the Sweet Jasmine simple coloring stencil to color my press plate. And I actually used it on watercolor paper. So what you have to keep in mind when you are coloring watercolor paper, or when you're using a stencil on watercolor paper, is that the paper accepts the ink a little bit different. It's not like regular paper when you can just go and ink it. Watercolor paper tends to soak up the color a little bit different. So I'm going to start with the centers of my flowers. And for that, I'm using citronella. I love this color. It's like a nice yellowish green. I'm going to literally just add the color. to the centers, and this is a super easy flower to color. Okay, whether you stamp it or whether you use your press plates, it's so like it's really one like a super nice one to do because it's very simple. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna put it closer to you. I'm gonna make it a little bit closer. Let me just bring this down a bit. Okay, so hope I didn't shake you too much. There you go. So it's like a nice, like a yellowish green. So I use citronella for that. Now, for my petals, and like I said, there's gonna be, we're gonna do it quickly because it takes no time to build this up. I use a combination of mauve, pink diamond, and pink alicia. Because remember, like I said, she's wearing like a peachy, kind of like a warm pink, but the decoration on the back is like this cool pink. So I had to find colors that match that. So you're gonna see me that I'm gonna play with all these colors. Let's start with a little bit of mauve, and this is from the Dry Petals Fresh Dye ink set. This is the second color. I love this set. One of the new sets, Fresh Dye inks. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of the color. And I want it really soft because there's a lot more things that we're gonna add. So I want this to be the background, kind of like highlight of my paint. You're gonna see a little bit of mauve in some of them. And I'm gonna go heavy in the center. So when I start adding, I start at the center, adding pressure there and just kind of like fade the color towards the end or the tip of the petals, if you want to call them like that. So that's number one. See, and I'm gonna move it a little bit. The same stencil has the rest of like a little bit more, some of the petals. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of pink calypso and you're gonna see the difference. Kind of like a cooler pink, kind of more on the fuchsia tone, which is okay because I need that combination of the two pinks. And so here we go. And again, I'm starting at the center, so I'm adding pressure there and then just lightly fanning out the ink. And like I said, I don't want it to be, you can go as saturated as you want to. Like, I just wanted something really soft. So there you go. You see the combination of colors? I don't know if you can see it. The one is like peachy and the other one's a little bit more on the pink. So that's the stencil number one. I'm going to set it aside. I'll clean after. We're going to go to stencil number two. So here we're going to get a little bit more. I'm going to go with a little bit of Pink Delicious again. A little bit. And you're going to see that I'm going to go just the bottom half of the petal, like the one that's closer to the center. So I'm going to combine a little bit of the other color on top of it. And that's why I'm doing this, is just so that I can combine the two colors together. So I'm going to get a little bit of mauve and I'm going to go on top of that. And why I went just halfway is so that I can have the two colors in one petal. So it kind of gives you like that soft look, kind of have a combination of the two tones. And that's about it for the flowers. Now I'm going to do the petals, the leaves. Let me just move the stuff out of the way. And for that, I use a combination of matcha green and oak moss. See, I remember English is not my first language. And it's true, it's not. I speak Spanish. So I'm going to start with matcha green for these ones. And like I was saying before, whenever you use, like, I don't know if you guys are using press plates. If you haven't, go ahead and use them. They're the most beautiful thing to use. They give you this finish on your project. It's like, it's beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful. The look of it is like, there's that texture to it. And the only thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're using press plates is that you need a special paper. You cannot do it on regular cardstock. You either need cotton paper, which is the one like, that it's recommended by spellbinders who has the machine, or you can use watercolor paper. I'm using watercolor paper, the cold press watercolor paper from Altenew for this. So I have my first pass right there. I wish I spoke a second language. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I love speaking Spanish. Now the only thing is, and I'm going into stencil number 3, which has the rest of the leaf, is that there are some words that can only be said in Spanish. Not one thing. Second thing, I don't mind my, I don't mind my, not anymore. I used to before a lot. My accent, I don't it doesn't bug me. But, and I'm being very serious. Um, Sometimes there are words that do not translate as I think they should from one to the other one. So I'm using matcha green, but I'm using a smaller brush and I'm adding a little bit more pressure so that the color is a little bit darker. Okay. And you're gonna see like the difference with the paper using coloring watercolor paper is that the ink soaks right away into the paper. Usually when you go out onto cardstock, like Nina or Hammermill, which is what I use a lot, are able to move the ink around. Not the same with watercolor paper or with cotton paper. It kind of soaks up the ink, so you kind of have to either move fast or you're gonna create like kind of that mark on the paper. So just keep that in mind. Watercolor paper is a little bit different when you stencil. It does give you great results, but you're gonna see that my hand is moving by the time I get down, like onto the stenciling. There we go. You love my accent, thank you. But like I said, sometimes I have to think if I'm saying it properly in English, and sometimes I gotta think if I'm saying it properly in Spanish. I speak Spanglish, and I'm gonna be teaching in Spanish soon. And then I realized that I have an accent when I speak in Spanish, and I have an accent when I speak in English. So it's not a great combination. So wish me luck. We're gonna say. So there you go. I'm using oak moss. You see, to create like a darker tone of green on my leaves. And again, I'm going like more pressure as I start in the center of the stencil, like closer to the flowers. And then I'm just lightly moving the ink towards the outside of the tip of the leaf, just to give it a softer look. There we go. We're almost finished. And that's what I did with all my flowers. So I have this ready. And I'm sorry, I just kicked my dog. He was underneath my legs. I didn't realize. So let me just clean my brushes because I don't need them anymore. Right, so I'm just going to clean a few things off my table. I'm going to move my inks out of the way too. We're going to need all the space that we can. Yeah, this will have to get clean. So I'm going to move them to the side. I don't need this. Here, let me move my ink out of the way. Wait. Okay, so I have my flowers here. So I want you to see. Like I said, I have 3 of them. I don't think I'm going to use all 3 of them, but I love the look of them. They're so easy to put together. You can watercolor them. You can do a lot of things with it. I'm going to put my mat away for now. I have to clean it up, but for now it's going to go away. So we can use this bigger. So let's go back into bringing the stuff that we're going to need. So I'm going to put it on the side. So as you can see right now, I have my stuff like already here. So when you think of a party or you think of a birthday, you think of a cake. So we are going to make our cake. Just so you see how everything is going to sit here. So to make my cake, I have it here. See, I worked ahead to move the stuff out of the way again. I am using the Celebrate with Cake die set, and I am using the Altenew Blends paper pack to cut the bases. And I cut my little hearts out of sparkling peach and also from pink diamond. So I have that combination of the peach and the pink, and then I use some of the cherry blossom and some of the red cosmos to cut my cake. So again, I'm bringing the combination of those colors that I have that, okay? And this die set is available in the shop. One of my favorite things because of the numbers, because it gives you a beautiful, beautiful results. And it comes like that. You have a lot of different designs. I've already cut it. I'm not going to cut the number because I want a big number for my project. And you're going to see, I'm not going to put it away. I'm going to put the die away, but I'm going to keep this handy because I need to finish my layer. So we're going to build this up. So you have a base. And I don't know where I put my Altenew tape runner. So we're going to use this one for now. So we're going to go ahead and add my first cake layer. So we have one. I am going to use for this, I'm just going to add kind of like a swag. You can add like, you're gonna see there's like a little thing that creates kind of a curvature if you have chocolate. I did not want to add a lot of colors. I want to stay within those like kind of pink and peach for my layout. And I'm gonna add accents of gold and glitter. So shine. So this is just gonna create the swag in the center. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put a little bit. And let's cover this up, actually cover this up. And this is gonna go into my 3x4 card. So it's gonna fit like it's gonna be super tight. And it's gonna be right here. I'm gonna add the next one. I'm gonna add this part here, right at the bottom right there. And then this is kind of like the curvature, like sometimes you see chocolate on top of it. So that pretty much covers all the colors that I'm looking for. Yeah, this die is like a couple years ago. I like, but I don't know for you guys, like, you guys can let me know. But I have like a lot of Altenew stuff. I've been with Altenew since 2019. So I have the little hearts. I usually keep like the stuff that I use a lot, like a lot of sentiments, my alpha dies, my frame, and like the subscriptions. I have two cards for like I have like boxes, of stuff, but I have two cards that I usually keep like the stuff that I use a lot. I have one that is like at the bottom, like I have all like basic dice hearts, and this one is one alphas, and this dice set is always there because, like I said, it's one that I know I'm going to use for parties and celebrations. There's numbers, so it's like a good die to have. So there you go. I have it here. So let's keep building this up so you guys will see what it's going to look like. Okay. So it's not going to stay white. Okay. We're going to keep building on this. I have my one side of the page. I need to bring the Sweet Jasmine onto this. I am going to do it. Now I have this. This is like, the birthday girl, the older sister. That's my uncle. And he's like a father to me. So I have him here. And I want this picture to be here. So this is going to be the other side of the layout. Okay. But I need to cover this. I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to be like, you see the HP from the printer. So for that, what I am going to do, and you're going to see, I'm going to show you. I was a good girl. I even have my journaling ready. So one's going to be here, the other one's going to be on the other side. Okay. So I am using, again, another thing that you should guys all get. Okay. This is the honeycomb daisies cover die set. The beauty of this die set is that it has no edge, which means that you can do like long strips of paper without like, a beginning or an end, which is actually going to help me today because I am going to be able to cover the other side with this, and at the same time create kind of a nice frame for my picture. Okay, so you see what I'm going for? So we're going to work on that right now. And the way I worked it out is I cut, this is, I think, an 8.5 by 4.25 paper. So I cut the first half right there, and then I just moved the die match to the perforations and cut the other half. And I have like a consecutive cut. Yeah. I love dies like this. Like these are like for a scrapbooker or a documenter that has something bigger than an A2 card. This is like a godsend. Okay. So the way that I want to do it is I'm going to move this again, moving pieces to the side. Today is all about like, moving pieces. I have my picture here and I wanted to give it a little bit of a frame. So I'm going to use the grid on the back to help me with it. And I have a pencil here. So I already know that I want to cut this to, like I said, the picture is, let's say exactly how big it is. It's around 3.5. So I know that I want my background to be around 4 inches. So I'm just gonna size it. So let's start by doing that. So I want it to be 4 inches. So let's see. Cut a little bit from here. A little bit, move it like that. 4 inches. Okay. This is garbage. I have 4 inches right there. I'm not gluing because I'm not gonna glue it to that. I'm gonna glue it to the back of the acetate. So think of it as just like the image is gonna be floating, but it's gonna give you the impression as if it is like framed by the die. So again, my photo is around, I think it was around 6 and 3/4, around 7 and I go around 7 1/4 or so. Let me see. Yeah, 7 1/4. So I'm gonna mark it here, and it's right on this line here. You guys didn't see it because I have the lines of the what's his name? Of the mat, and it has like numbers at the top and the bottom. So I'm using that to help me with that. Okay, so I have this. This is what it's going to look through the acetate. That is what you're going to see. So I am going to frame my picture, but I'm also going to give myself something to add decoration to the other side. Okay, so let's work on this right now. Where is that piece? Okay, so yeah, I'm going to use the white cardstock for now to help me with. Okay, so I have it here. So I'm going to center it somehow here. So let me find the 0, 3, 6, around there. Okay, so 0.5. So I'm going to go around. It's going to sit right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue. I'm not going to stress over this because remember, I'm going to have something behind it. So I'm not stressing over if you can see some of this. Yes, I'm going to make sure. Here. And then I'm going to flip this. Again, I'm going to center this a bit. And I'm going to go with my picture. So, and I'm using like just simple acetate that I had on my stash. I'm not using the good one, the one that you can actually emboss. And it's just to add stuff here. So you're going to see. Use this. And there you go. I have my page. Yeah. So you see, I have a place to add something. And then I have my frame. So now I can work on this. Now I have my picture here. And we're going to make it be a little bit smart. Because I want it to be like kind of center based on this. I take this. I'm going to cheat a bit. Hold this. Okay. Move it down a bit right there. I'm going to use my ruler for this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this photo. If I know that I want it right there, like I said, I even add my lines. I have my lines of journal ready, so I'll add them after. Just going to make sure that this is nice and straight. And of course, I'm going to add something around it. And you guys can see that I'm going to add the Sweet Jasmine around it. I'm going to use the stamp for it. And I'm going to go ahead and just straight glue it onto my cardstock. Let me see, I have my journaling here, ready to go after. So I'm actually going to cut it right now. That way I know where it goes. And I am using clear stickers to actually add my journaling. I use Photoshop to type it up, and then I print it all together just in case. I know one of you might ask me that. I know it's going to sit right there. I'm going to trim it a bit more. And the reason that I'm cutting it and putting it is because I need that to make sure that when I stamp around it, the frame of it, I know where everything is going to sit. So just bear with me 1 second. It's going to be right there. Okay, and then I have the other pieces of garbage now. So let me just move this stuff out of the way. The garbage. And this is the other one that's going to go on the other side. That's the only thing I didn't do. Trimmed it. I printed it. Here we go. Clean up the garbage out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place. And then we're going to create a frame on it. Okay. Take a deep breath because I'm going to make sure that I don't. There we go. So have my journal on this side. Might as well. I'm not going to add it there. So this is going to go right there. What I am going to do right now is based on this. Take my pencil and lightly just kind of create a little dot where, the frame for this finishes. So You're gonna see tiny little dots, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to create a frame around it using the Sweet Jasmine so that I can tie the entire page together. I am not gonna add this here. I want to create an entire frame for this, okay? And I do want to add this here. So you see how everything is shaping up. That is gonna go there. I'm gonna put a number there. This here is not gonna need one more. We're gonna bring some of the stamping that's on this background onto this to match it up. And I might a little bit here. I am not so sure yet. I have my lines of journal here too. And then this picture is gonna sit right here. So you see what I'm going for. Yeah, so we're gonna move this to the side. I don't need this. Right now I need my stamp. And I'm not gonna go with black. That's one thing that I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to use black ink. And the only thing that I forgot to bring was, I knew I forgot something. A big block. So here we go. I don't know what color to go with. So I think just to bring a little bit more of the pink, I might go with something. I have the inks here. I'm thinking Berry Licious might be a color to go with. Just because it's like dark, but it's not black. I don't want it to be harsh. I want it to be soft. What I am going to need is a piece of paper for the background. Okay, so I just have scratch paper here. So I'm going to put it here. Okay. You see, I even pull it out of something that was stapled. And I'm going to go with Berry Licious. Okay, so this is one of the fresh dye inks. This is part of the dry petals set. Okay, so we're going to take this. And we're going to start. So hope you guys are with me still. So we're going to go and like literally lightly. So it's going to be partial stamping. It's okay if it's paint. I don't want it to be like, exact or anything. Because remember, this is just a background. But at the same time, I don't want to cover the entire page. So we're going to flip it. The stamp. Now we're going to stamp like this. Yeah. Keep going at it. I'm rotating my stamp as I go along so that I know. Okay, so there we go. So let's put this page on top so you guys can see what I'm going for. See, you're going to see that, and it's going to frame what I have here. Okay? So let's keep going because I'm going to go all around it. Let's see. Just rotate my stamp every so often. And it's just partial prints. Okay, so. Ooh. I always have this nightmare that I'm going to flip because it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you guys too. Like, you're stamping something and you almost finish and then your hand slips and like, the stamp goes right onto the page. Trust me, it happens to me more often than you guys will know, especially when I'm almost finished. And I literally want to cry and I usually just walk away because it is frustrating. So I'm going to keep working on this, almost there. Yeah. And because I'm doing this here, then you guys know that I'm also going to do that for the card. But I'm going to go with something a little bit softer in the card because it's a little bit busier on the other side, okay? You see, it's not just, it happens so many times, guys. To cards. If it's like a project like this, a scrapbook layout, I know that I can add a heart or I can hide it with something. But when it's on a card, oh, my heart breaks. Because it's hard, like, to create a panel or things like that. My heart breaks. Seriously, guys. And I'm sure you guys do this. Like, somebody said there's no tears on crafting. That's not true. Whoever said that did not, like, had to stamp and create a page or card and then like, at the last minute destroy it. Seriously. Oh, I'm sure we all did. Don't worry, you're not the only one. So I'm gonna just cheat a bit here. Okay, and there we go. See? I have my frame. Nothing major. I have some sentiments. They're gonna come into play in a little bit. I'm gonna set this on the side for now. So this is gonna be ready right there. Okay, so this is where you're gonna see it. See, simple. Like I said, we're gonna add a sentiment. So we have this here. We're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna work on our cards here. Okay. So I have these two here. This one, I might not add anything because I'm thinking of adding this. So this one we're gonna leave here. But this one here, it does need something. And the way we're gonna go again, I have the paper, just scratch paper. I think I want to stamp like a partial here. So I'm gonna go with something a little bit lighter. Let's go back to you know what? Let's go with pink diamond. Okay. Let me clean this quickly, like light it a bit here. Because I want something that's really soft. I don't want it to be competing with it. Okay. So we're gonna go with pink diamond. This is from the cherry blossom set. And I just want to create a soft background. So I'm going with a lighter color. That way, when I put this on top, it's going to pop and not the flowers on the background. But I want to bring that look that I had on the other side onto this, okay? So we're going to do this here. See? So here we're going to think a little bit more because remember, I have that cake stand here. So I want to kind of softly have some coming at the corner up here. Perfect. And I want a little bit more at the bottom. So we're going to do a second stamping at the bottom. I think I want to add it to behind the picture at the bottom. So you're going to see here. There we go. Super pretty. Very, very soft. I'm going to bring it closer so you guys can see it. It's like super soft. Okay. And here it's going to be. You see? And that's my card. Simple as that. So then go at it. Go into in place there. It fits right into my 3x4. Here we go. Let's start building this up. So the card's gonna go inside there. Wait. The picture is gonna go in there next to it. So you don't need a lot to create. You can bring your card making supplies and do it. Okay, so now we have our 4x6. So I know I have a picture here. So I'm going to use the same thing to bring the stamp look onto this. I'm going to use the same thing. I'm going to use pink diamond. And I'm going to go just on this side here. Yeah. Right. There it goes. Not too, not too worried that some of it's not showing because the picture is going to cover some of that. So I'm going to trim it a tiny bit. I think my picture is a little bit too big. I'm going to trim it a little bit more here. A little bit smaller. I have 3x4s, but I'm going to make them, I'm taking some of the white frame to make them smaller. There we go. I'm sticking the garbage to the side. Perfect. Here we go. I have my lancet journal here, but I want to add some of it. I think I'm just going to play with this a bit. I'm going to add my lancet journal first. Yeah. You need the stamp set. Go ahead. You do. It's a beautiful stamp set. There you go. My lancet journal. And I think I just want to add this. Kind of like I'm just going to play with this a bit. So let's just leave it there for now. As you're going to see, I don't want it to be super like overly, flowery, but it does need a bit here. So I'm just playing with the idea right now. I think I want to go like kind of on the corner. So let me just see what looks better. Okay. I'm gonna go like, let's see. These are the part. This is when you start suffering. This is where the part that I start suffering going, let me see. I think it's too much. I think it has to come like, I like it kind of like that. I like that. So I'm gonna just, for now, I'm just gonna tack it a little bit, just a little bit here. Just tack it in place there. Okay. And we're gonna set it aside for now. And we're gonna worry about this. Okay. What kind of printer do you have for the photos? Okay. This again, printers are something that you're very particular about. I have had HP printers for as long as I can remember. And my HP printer last year, I had a all-in-one died. So I went for an Eco Tank HP printer, and I love how it works. I love how it works. So I don't need this no more. I'm gonna set it aside. I have to clean it, but I'll do it outside of the live after. But for now, we're just going to clean up for a little. Because we're almost done. We just gotta add titles and then we'll be done. So, you know, still there's a lot of finishing touches, so don't worry. Okay, so we have there. So we're gonna get our cluster. So that's what I say. We're not gonna glue it yet because we have to make sure that this makes sense. But you see how the stamping here? I'm gonna take it out because I don't like how you guys see it. You see the stamping there? It's gonna bring some of the stamping over here. And this is gonna tie with this. What was the name of the background die? For this die here, this is the honeycomb daisies cover die. Okay. So you see what I'm going for? This is gonna tie it together. The stamping here, it's gonna bring this here. So right now I'm just have to decide how I want to put this. I have two. I could go like this, go like this, but I think I'm overdoing it. I just think I need one. Okay. I know I need a number 5 somewhere. So I have my bold numerals right here. Remember that I said again, like I said, which is on my card that has all the things that I need on a regular basis. So you're gonna see that it's well loved because it is used a lot. I'm gonna put my number 5 here. I have my mini die blossom cut here. Yeah, so let me just clean up a bit. So let me just get this. And I do want to bring, if you see the number 5 they had at the party, the balloon was gold. So I am going to bring gold into this. I am going to use the gilded cardstock set, the glitter cardstock. I'm going to use gilt, and you're going to see that I use a lot of this. These are some of my favorite things. You know, we had I'm gonna say, a couple, well, every month, the design team, we have like a meeting, to see what's coming up and stuff like that. And one of our requests was that if we could possibly get glitter cardstock in bigger sizes, meaning, how, like, the dazzling diamond paper comes in 8.5 by 11. We're hoping that they can, create like some of these colors in 8.5 by 11 or a 6 by 6, because come on, guys, you know how nice it would be to have like a background, like, for like a cover die that you can cut like for your backgrounds, for your card panels. So that was part of our request. For some reason, so I'm just trying to cut this number. Okay, there we go. There we go. Cut the 5. Sorry, I'm shaking the table, and it's because, I'm die cutting. So I'm going to cut it just one. I don't want to add that much texture. Usually I will cut it like 2 or 3 times, but I don't think I need that much. Okay, so I'm going to put this away. And of course, I have to bring somewhere a happy birthday. So let me just put stuff away first. And see. And like, I haven't glued this in place yet, but I'm thinking that if I have that there, I don't know if I want to put it here. I have that one. I think I want to go like this. And one of the things too, I do want to be careful is that you don't see it on the other side. So I want to make sure that my die, like my flower, my die cut, is within that frame. Okay. So you gotta be like, so that's what I say. Remember, I haven't glued this yet because I have to make sure that, like, it makes sense with this. So let me see. Let's see. I still haven't glued that in place yet. I can put it here or I can go down here, which I'm thinking that I might want to go down here. I want a 5. This is as far as I plan. I want it here. Let me see. Okay, let's cover some of the green. 5. I want a 5. I need a happy birthday somewhere there. Okay, so I put it right here. Remember, covering the edges. I want to put a 5. And then we need something that says happy birthday. So let's look at put a few things here. Have a few things here handy. So I do like this happy birthday. This is from the lighthearted sentiment because it's not too big. Or I can die cut it, but I think it's let me see. I think I want to go with this. Everything is so big, I want something a little bit smaller. Yeah. So stamp this. I'm gonna use black obsidian ink for this. And I have my die here. Again, I think this is one of the newest sets too. A good one to have, by the way. Because the sentiments are awesome in this. Moving this out of the way. I have some cards up here. Yeah. I also have my stuff here. Like I said, I'm going with something a little bit smaller because everything is big and I don't want it to be super busy. I want to give it some fresh air too. So that means space for everything to breathe. Go ahead and die cut my words here. Okay, there we go. I have the word stamp. I have the die set ready here. I'll clean up after. Move it to the side. The word birthday. I have the word happy. Yeah. Just put it into my die cutting machine right here. Trim this. Okay. I don't know where I put the other thing. Even though I'm trying to keep it as nice and clean as I can, I don't know where I put the plate. My brain is okay. Here it is. I knew I didn't put it that far. So the word happy, the word birthday, and I'm also gonna cut it out of the same gold at the back. Okay, so for now, we're gonna cut the one that we just stamped right here. You see? You like the background? I love the background. Like I said, simple. You don't need to do much, but you want to go subtle. Okay, so you stamp the backgrounds, you go subtle with the backgrounds because you want everything else to like kind of pop. And for that, we're going to give it a lot of breathing space. This side of the page is going to be a little bit on the busy side. So we're going to make sure that the rest is not as busy so we can let it breathe a bit. So I am also going to cut the same sentiment out of the gold cardstock here because I want to kind of offset this a bit. Okay. So let me just see. Somebody's saying good afternoon. Hello. Sorry that is it Brendan? Sorry, guys. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just trying to cut this. The Brandon? God, I need stronger glasses, obviously. Cutting this. See? We're almost finished. Boy. You see, you can easily create it. And this will work great in a card too, by the way. The panel that I'm creating. So there we go. Okay, set this to the side. And we're gonna go ahead and glue it. But I'm gonna glue it a little bit on the offset. And I'm gonna do that so some of that gold peaks on the background. Okay. So that will bring that of the glitter look of the 5 here too. Tiny little bit of a nose. There we go. We're gonna do the same for the birthday. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, so just move it a tiny bit out of the way. Offset it a bit. So I want this here. Okay. I'm going to bring that down the panel so you see it. And then we're going to make the decision on it. See? I want it like that, exactly like that. So I'm going to go ahead and commit. We audition. We love what it looks like. So now we're going to commit. I'm not adding like dimension. I'm going to go straight with tape so it stays in place. I want the 5 here. To the side here. Like I said, this will make a great card too, in case you guys are like, wondering. Here we go. Happy. And the birthday. And the reason that I give it a little bit of gold here so that it stands out a little bit more. Okay, so here we go. So now we can commit on this. See, I have my page here. We're not done yet, so. Okay. So now here's where I have to decide. Do I want it this way? I like it like that. So I'm going to commit. Okay. You're gonna see that I'm going carefully lifting up. Tape there. I'm gonna make sure that the words are not covered fully. So I can move a little bit. There we go. So let's trim the excess. Okay. I'm gonna use my guillotine. It just creates the clean cut. This floral set, this is the Sweet Jasmine. I use the press plate to create the bases out of using obsidian ink and watercolor paper. And then I use the coloring stencil to add the color. I like that. Just a little bit. It's not competing with that. I don't want a lot, but it's bringing the stamp look of this. It is going to bring you the stamp look at the background here. So one side of my page is done. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my pockets now. I'm sorry, I know it's going to be a bit of a glare when you see it, but yeah, so you see. Okay, that's the one side. I have this side here. When you open it like that, okay, so you have the picture here with a nice frame. Then you have this here. I could, if I wanted to add here, but I think it's too much. Let's see. See, I think it's too much. I like the frame just as it is, but it does need a sentiment here. This is just extra that we're gonna use. So what I pulled for that is this. This is the Sunny Sentiment stamp set. And I'm not gonna use the die, just the stamp set. Okay, so that's little fencing. So I'm going to bring this here. I don't want to add anything here because it's gonna cover what I have this thing here. So I'm just going to find something that makes sense. I like the embrace joy. One of the reasons why I'm going to go embrace joy is when you put this on top, you won't see it. Okay? Because I think you're amazing is the other one that I was thinking about it too. So let me just here. I want to make sure that I want to go with I think you're amazing. Okay, and I am going to use obsidian ink for this because I do want it to to kind of match that. So pray for me because it's the last part of the video. And I remember how we were having that conversation about you screw up on the last one. I am known for doing crooked, stamping and then regretting stamping, without a ruler or stuff like that. So I am praying for myself right now. Take a deep breath, Nathalie, and commit. And of course it's crooked. Of course it's crooked, but it's that's there. So when you flip it, you're gonna see that it needs a heart. Okay, yeah, I know, fingers crossed. It's a bit too late. Thank you though. Nice sentiment. I love you guys too. It's just it's I'm known for that. It needs a heart or something. So let me just find. I'm just gonna put one for my stash. If I don't think I need much more than this. I want to put it down here. Okay. So it's just something a little bit peachy because I have a lot of pink going on. So I have something peachy. But I need something up here, like a little sentiment or something. I probably add like a phrase sticker or something after, not now, but pretty much I'm done. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look on my album. I have it right here. I'm gonna pull up the camera a bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Okay. Somebody's saying. So you're gonna see that. Like I said, my albums are really like chunky. If a lot gets added there. I believe it goes right here. Yeah, this is the so this is gonna sit right here. I'm not gonna add anything else here because it already has quite a bit. Okay. This is gonna be the other part. So even if I just have that makes sense. Okay. If I have that spread right there, because I have the stamping around the edge here, I have the same stamping behind the cake stand there. But because we want to add a little extra and want to make it like more memorable, we're gonna add a floating element. Like I punch the holes in it. There you go. Okay. See the pipe is not sticking. There we go. So we have this. And look at the paper to the back. So we have, a little sense. This again, like I said, this will be a great card. And then when you turn it, then you have a frame for your photo. And then I have this. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun to put together. Okay. So I'm gonna flip the camera. And then I'm gonna see you guys before we say our goodbyes. Let's see. Let me find the button for this. Okay, camera. There we go. So there you go. I hope you actually, I hope you guys actually get some inspiration from this. I love how they turn out. Like I said, I had an idea and it's very simple, guys. Like it's simple stamping, just, I can show you that you can do a lot of things besides cards with all the Alteneu products. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Mitzi, for helping with all the links. If you need to get the set, go at it. Still available in the shop. That's the Sweet Jasmine set that I use as the main focus of this. And thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'll see you in a month or so with another project. I have an idea for that because if you guys see the March release that's coming up, beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say. So thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you. Hi Serena. Thank you for being here, and I will see you soon. Okay, guys. Oh, you like the transparency? I know. Vellum and acetate do wonders for your pages in your albums. So thank you all for joining me today. If I can only remember how to turn this off. Bye, guys.